Femi, you're muted.
Okay, just give me 1 minute. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Thinking Reimagined podcast. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. It's a special one, and we're talking about attaining equity and equality. And we are also featuring the Equity and Equality Scholarship Awardees on this episode. It's a long list of future surveyors, and I can count 10 of them. 2022 is a big year. We are giving scholarships to 10 future surveyors. And if you're hearing for the first time, it's in honor of the first and only female surveyor general. And we have a special dedicated episode as to this particular individual, the first and only female surveyor general of Nigeria. Mrs. Olayinka Omolabake Adekoya. Well, I'll be introducing the ladies to you in a short while. Dr. Ama, there's no better time to talk about equity and equality, particularly when you consider that women groups across the country are now picketing the National Assembly. This is perhaps the 6th day asking that the lawmakers rescind their decisions and their positions on the gender bills.
Nifemi, you know, this is a very special topic to me, and I am so glad that we have the opportunity to welcome the 10 recipients of this year's Equity and Equality Scholarship, which is in honor of a woman that I hold very dear to my heart, and a woman that is very influential in my life. I know she's late, but she continues to play a role. And what can I say? We've just had Women's Day. This is Women's Month. We're talking about equity and equality and looking at the things that we must do to bring about equity and equality, not just in Nigeria, but globally. We've been talking about breaking the bias. We recognize very often that the discrimination that women endure, whether it's in the area of employment, in their families, in their community, lends itself to women not being able to achieve at their level. So I am thrilled to have these 10 young ladies, young future female surveyors. And I believe, I've always said this since last year, amongst these women whose lives we've impacted and continue to impact, I believe lies the next female surveyor general of Nigeria. And I hope to be there that day when that person is elevated to that position. So welcome, ladies.
Absolutely.
And welcome to the discussion today.
I'd like you
Thank
to
you, Mom. Thank you,
perhaps
Mom.
walk us through
Thank you, Mom.
perhaps walk us through the process. I can tell that the numbers have increased from last year. Perhaps you can walk us through the process of having the 10 recipients emerge.
Well, the way it is that we opened it up this year to anybody, including the ladies who were here last year. So our very first cohort had 6 young ladies, and one of them has graduated, Love Gade. So we wish her all the best. The ladies here, amongst others, had a chance to respond to the question that's being featured, why are diversity and inclusion important in the field of surveying? And we had a chance to review the responses, and these were the ladies that were selected through a process that included the Adekoya family reviewing and making a selection as well. So there were quite a few people who had a chance to narrow it down. So we're absolutely thrilled, because we know that the idea and the concept of diversity and inclusion is very critical if you're going to have equity and equality. You know, diversity is the variables. You know, they're women, they're men. People tend to think of STEM themed professions as male dominated. It's absolute rubbish. Men and women can do the job. They're capable of doing it. It has been proven by the late Mrs. Adekoya, and it's being proven by these wonderful ladies that we have here today. And at the same time, we also need to make sure that workplaces and universities are inclusive. So when you talk about equity and equality, you must also include diversity and inclusion, and that they have a sense of belonging when they're in these areas. So let's ask the young ladies, you know, what makes this a special occasion for them, and what are they looking forward to as the forebearers right now of the Equity and Equality Scholarship?
So who's going first? We have quite a huge number here. Adeola, Antonia, Alaska, Nuthorn, Anu, Ayomide, Olaogun, Cynthia, Fifth Eze, Helena, Okpe, Melvina, Olisa, Ogechuku, Stephanie, Oboka. Welcome, everyone. Who's going first? Please feel free to raise your hands and just go ahead with your expectation as regards this particular scholarship program, and what exactly are you excited about?
Melvina, let's get started.
Why did you have to pick me first? All right. I'm very happy that I was chosen for the second time, and it's really been a journey since the first year, and second year it's going to be wow. I'm already used to the system, assignment, tasks to do, have to complete it, present myself in a professional manner online, and be the person I have to be. Just push on, do better, speak up. And so this mentorship program and the scholar, I expect a lot. I expect to change professionally. Yes, I expect to change. I will be a graduate this year, so I'm looking up to I'm looking up to Dr. Alma and some other persons in the field too. I want to be better. I want to do more. So yeah, I expect to change a lot. Yes. Thank you.
It's wonderful. It looks like Adeola's hand is up. Go on, Adeola.
I remember the last time we had a podcast that Dr. Ama was telling us that our 1 year is over. I remember the question she asked me that it was, why am I looking so sad? Yeah, that first year was a wonderful one. Like what I did not even expect from the scholarship came true. Like personal development. It went a long way for me. It made me see the world in another dimension entirely. So this year, I am really grateful for the opportunity once again for me to develop myself. I really appreciate Dr. Ama for everything she's been doing for us so far, even though sometimes we tend to prove stubborn to her, but she has been there. So we expect her and her mentorship and everything so that we'll continue to grow. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. The excitement is infectious. Can we hear from someone who is joining this program for the first time?
Well, Stephanie has her hand up. Go on, Stephanie. You have to unmute, Stephanie, and
Okay, yeah, I'm really to get more
Stephanie,
exposure
we
to
can't
our
hear
lecturers,
you.
and I'm like that. Okay, I'd like to say that. Okay, I think it's the network. I'll have to,
Okay, now we can.
uh, okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, Stephanie. Go ahead.
Thank you. I said I'm really excited about this program because I really hope to get a lot of exposure whenever I meet lecturers, to like tell them that okay, when they are going out for side jobs, I would like to go with them so that I can get experience and know what's going on the field. That it's not just here in school, they just teach us one thing, two things. They don't even really teach us much. So they'll not be like, ah, you're a woman, oh, are you sure you can Anyway, no problem. They'll have my number in their phone for like ages. They won't even contact me. So I'm really, really hoping that I would get exposed to this program. And I'm really, really excited for the assignments and other things that we're going to be doing. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Stephanie, for that. Nifemi, did you hear what she said about lecturers saying they're going to give opportunity but not getting back in touch with her? I mean, how do we cultivate and get rid of this imbalance? Because I'm sure her male counterparts are getting opportunities.
You know, I was going to follow up with Stephanie. Stephanie, do you have female lecturers in school?
Yeah, yes, we do. We have like about 3 or 4 there, yes.
Do these female lecturers, do they also give you the same vibe? Like, oh, as a woman, what are you looking for on the field?
No. One of them is actually always following us, like she's always following us in class, us the girls, because we're just 4 in our class out of 52. So we have a lot of guys and just 4 girls. So they're just the female lecturer is always like, people should protect your girls, or take care of them. Anything you're doing, show them the way. You know what? Just forget about it. I'm just more concerned about these girls. These girls, see, let me just tell you, people have to be going to the field. Like, don't look at these guys. Don't look at them, because they're going to just think that people can't do anything. Prove them wrong. That's what our female lecturers are always like trying to impact on us. And Sofia Chamaka, she used to go for field work when she was in school. She said that she was one of the best in her class, and she came out with a very good second class upper. So she's always encouraging us and always checking up on us to see if we're doing well.
So the point I was trying to make is, if the male lecturers are not going to consider you for field trips, so why not explore the female alternative? They say women helping women, right?
Yeah, they do say that, but she doesn't go on those field walks anymore. She's now like fully in the GIS pathway.
I see. Dr. Amma, what can we do about all this, what appears to be a continued discrimination against our female future surveyors? You know, I know that this issue also came up sometime last year as regards the perception that female are meant to just stay in the classrooms and they don't have the capacity to explore the practical side of their study.
Well, Nifemi, I'm glad you brought up this question. And I was actually going to ask the young ladies, especially those who have not spoken, to share with us what they think should be done to handle this. I mean, to make the change, because really a change in the mindset is one thing. But what do you do when you're in that situation? How do you get yourself noticed? And how do you get them to call on you? So they have to learn to network as well. Networking is a critical part of one of the things that we work on with the recipients of the scholarship, is how do you network? Last year, we were able to create a network in-house. And at the end of the year, I could see that many of the young ladies had connected. But how well are they networking within the institutions of learning? Because they have to actively break the barrier. So young ladies, tell us, how are you networking? How are you making sure that you get that opportunity that you rightly deserve, even if you're a female? You're there to learn, you have a right to education, and you certainly have a right to go in the field. So let's hear from some of those who have not spoken. Faith hasn't said a word, and I can think of Helena offhand, and also Ayomide. Ayomide, you're a 1-year veteran, so to speak. You've been around for a year. So tell us, what are you doing?
Good afternoon, Dr. Amma. I won't be able to speak right now. It's quite noisy and I don't want to affect.
Okay. It sounds like Ayomide is on a site and not able to turn on her camera and speak for long. So Obviously, she's doing some field work. So who else is there? Anu, join us. What are you doing to network?
Okay, good afternoon. I guess basically for me is making sure that we don't just allow the male to do most of is it to be at the forefront, doing most of the work, maybe getting actively involved in things relating to surveying, maybe on field, making sure that you are also actively participating, and in class, making sure you are also actively participating also, not making sure it's only the males that are doing it. I guess that's all for me.
All right. So basically, I mean, I agree with her. You have to speak up, you have to participate, and you have to make sure that you get the opportunity to be in the field and to contribute. We know from studies that diversity is very critical in the learning process, in the work process. So building that muscle for discussion and participation is absolutely critical. Anyone else who wants to talk about how they're getting themselves involved and raising their visibility? Helena, join us. Melvina. Melvina has a hand up, and then we're going to Helena.
All right, thank you. I'm trying to bring out myself in the department. We are 6 females, 1 female dropped out. We are 5 females in the midst of 21 boys, so we are actually 26 in the class. And it's quite easy because I'm the kind of person that I do well in smaller group. Because when we are plenty, I tend to shy off. But when we are small, I bring out my leadership skills and stuff like that. So it's quite easy for me to bring out myself, go for classes, talk to lecturers, both male and female. And our lecturers are this kind of persons that they don't discriminate between females and male. They will push you to do survey practicals. They would always want you to come to them, lay your challenges. What do you want? What do you want to learn? They are always open. And there is this particular lecturer that brought brilliant students together that we are about 9 that he's coaching, and he brings job opportunities. That was when I had my first opportunity to work in a Canopy construction company. He was the one that led me there, and the surveyor there too was not the kind of person that, okay, you're a female, you don't have to do. When I went to the site, he gave me instrument to carry. He gave me tripods to carry. So I was there and I worked, and the opportunities were it was just there. It's just for us to catch it and just go for it. Don't just stay back and say, okay, because you're a female, you don't want to, just go for it. And then you see that the opportunities are there for both the female and both the male. So I've been able to connect with my lecturers, even lecturers outside of our universities. I've been able to do that. And lecturers that I don't even know from school, through most of our lecturers. And then anybody I just see that is a surveyor, I go up to him and say, I'm a student surveyor, I would like to join you one day to work. They say, Anuoluwapo, come now, and those kind of things. So it's quite fun to see that there are surveyors that also wants to train female. Like where I did my IT, I don't know this man from the beginning, but then when they connected me with him at Bayelsa State, he's at Bayelsa State and I'm in Oka, Anambra State. When I made a phone call with him and he made a video call and saw my face and said, okay, no, I'll accept you, come to Bayelsa. He made provision for accommodation, provision for IT tuition fee. And when I went there, it was blast. Like I had fun working on site and everything. It was just, at least, but then you can see the differences in some persons that does not want to see a female surveyor or see a female in the field. Yeah, it was among the shell construction, the shell workers that I saw that when the shell surveyor came and he was like, he saw a female surveyor manning the instrument and he was like, where is your boss? Why are you doing this? But then he was, after monitoring me and stuff like that, and he was like, you're good though. And he just gave me a thumbs up. And that's it. So I'm really trying my best because I really want to strive in the profession. Yeah.
Exciting experience, Melvina. I also think that what Melvina is saying is that there is such a passion and willingness that would drive the networking that Dr. Ama is talking about. So we can't afford to be laid back. We have to show a measure of enthusiasm in what we're doing and also go all the way out. So I read a message earlier from Ayomide So coincidentally, Ayomide is currently on site. So even though you can't turn on your video, you can send us a message as to how you got on site. Maybe that can also help and give some substance to the ongoing conversation. There are still quite a couple of ladies who are yet to speak. Please be free to explore this conversation beyond what we're currently saying. If there are challenges you're going through, we'd like to hear them as well, as well as what you're looking forward to during this program. I'm not sure we've heard from Adeola and Thonia, have we? So Adeola, it's your turn.
I spoke already concerning
you
the
spoke
first
already.
question.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Well, I would like to hear from Helena. I can see Helena there. Helena, tell us about your experience and how we can go about creating equity and equality in the field of surveying, but actually beyond that, because I don't want this conversation to be narrowed to just surveying. We need to think about creating equity and equality in our communities, in our schools, in our places of learning, in our workplaces. So Helena, share with us.
Okay, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
One thing, like I have learned so far, is the fact that I don't have to be intimidated or go behind by the fact that I'm a lady. But there have been a lot of difficulties because there's always this saying that a man is more better than a lady, even in strength and empathy and sometimes knowledge. But I am standing to prove that wrong. Because even if it's not easy, sometimes some lecturers are not easy. Even if they don't say it, but they show it by their attitude that they don't, and it's really so bad because sometimes I have to think about it and I feel it's bad. But as time goes on, I'm open to learn more and to be able to be confident. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Helena, you said something about feeling bad. What are you feeling bad about? That you're a woman or that you want to learn? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said yes, about being a lady.
You're feeling bad that you're a woman?
Sometimes, not every
She's
time.
feeling proud. I think she said
You're
she's
feeling proud.
Yeah.
Is that what you said, Helena?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I on my end, it sounded like you're feeling bad. But if you're proud to be a woman, then head up and take your place at the table. Take your bench if there are no seats, and make yourself known. You've got to seize the opportunity. You've got to change people's mindset. It's really up to each of us to change people's perception of us as women, because we are capable. There's no such thing as a man can do it better. You can do it better. You can do it just as well. You deserve the opportunity. You have the opportunity, so use it to your advantage. Does that make sense? But you do need to work to network. You need to hone in on your skills for networking, and you need to build that self-confidence to speak up at all times. And if you feel that you're being relegated to carrying instruments or sitting in the background or bringing them files or doing the recording, then you have to speak up and ask for a chance to actually take measurements and do all of those kinds of things that everyone else is doing. It's your right. It's your birthright. It's your human right. So you have to take that position and move forward with it. Yes, it's the only way that we can achieve equity, the only way that we can achieve equality. You know, those women who were out there picketing, or they're not picketing, what's the word I should use, canvassing for the equity bills to be heard and reversed, is because they know that this is the time. If we lose this opportunity and this momentum, then we carry on with what is already existing right now. And that does not put women in the proper light. Yes, Faith, go ahead.
Okay, I think we need more programs like this because it really helps.
Like for me, I'm a very shy type, and me participating in this program has really helped me. And I think I can encourage others because I find it difficult to speak up or even ask questions. But for now, I think I'm getting myself back and I'm really enjoying it.
Wonderful. Do you speak up in your class?
No, because I'm a shy type.
Okay. So it sounds like we need to work on giving you that confidence and to recognize that you own your space. The space you have is yours. You own it. You have a gift. You're not in surveying to just sit in the classroom and listen to other people. You have contributions to make. And to make those contributions, you have to speak up. Own it. It's yours. It's in your hand. Your future is in your hand. What you do with it is in your hands. So make good use of that opportunity. Start by having conversations with your professors. Start by knowing your teammates. So you build that muscle. And then you need to start speaking up.
Absolutely.
You sound like a brilliant, well-spoken woman. Yeah. Yes, Adeola.
So what I wanted to say was that we shouldn't limit ourselves just to the academic aspect of our department. There are some other activities that we can also engage ourselves with, either politics or anything, for us to make our voice heard out there. Like, let's say they are participating in departmental politics, you can just pick up a post when you know that you'll be able to function well, you'll be able to speak up for. Even if as a lady, as a woman going for such posts, you make this kind of fairness, you have like you make it known to people. They will see you and then they will see a practical example of what women are supposed to be doing in the field too.
Absolutely. We also have a message here from Ayomide. And Ayomide says, I've had great people around me, both male and female. I'm presently on internship at a surveying firm, and I remember telling my classmates that I'm being taught from the scratch. They exclaimed and said, now we're supposed to learn that one. It's very interesting that they don't mind me leading. On the other hand, I've met people who would turn it into a competition, not because you're better than them, but because you're a female who's better. What they don't know is I love myself, a healthy competition, and I'm always up for the challenge. I also would like to point out here that it's very important that as future female surveyors, we do not accept the gender challenge before it comes. So I have met ladies who would say, I didn't get this because I'm a woman. I also think that is not completely right. I remember when I was serving at the, what's it called? At the NYC camp, you know, I studied at Greek in school, but I had this passion for broadcasting, for mass communication. And I told everyone who cared to listen that when I get to camp, I'm going to join the OBS. There's what they call the Orientation Broadcasting Service. And guys, I went there like 20 times, and I'm not even kidding. I kept going, and I kept going. I think there is such a thing as being passionate about something and going for it. So I'm imagining that there's another lady who wanted exactly what I wanted, but went there just like twice. I mean, she could have convinced herself that I didn't get the position because I'm a lady, but that wouldn't have been accurate. She wouldn't have gotten the position because she did not want it badly. You know, it was Dr. Amma who said, ladies should get a seat at a table, but if you don't get it, come with a bench. And the thing about the bench is it's longer than a chair. I mean, you can occupy more space if you really want it. I actually do not think there is any gender limitation if you are passionate about it. I can't even see it around me. I'm sorry. I mean, I work in a place where most of the directors are women. I mean, most of my bosses are women. I can't even imagine it that anybody in this country today would say the reason why they don't have what they want is because they are women. So I'm hoping that that is going to challenge someone and inspire someone to just go all out for whatever it is that you want. It really doesn't matter. I think you're going to get it. If you really want it, or not that, you're laid back about it. I see here that
wanted to add something to your comment, Nifemi, and I thank you for what you shared with the young ladies. They don't know that story. I happen to know it, and I'm so thrilled that you're in a place where you continue to thrive and you're doing brilliantly well. But the reality is, for us as women, and I speak as a woman who has always had opportunities, and I have not been raised with gender bias. And well, let me scrap that. I have felt bias, even as the woman that I am today. I'm quite aware of the biases that we women face. And as a woman, I can't deny it. And some of the biases are invisible. They're there. That you just don't see them. And that sometimes prevents women from rising to the pinnacle of their professions. But what I want for these young ladies is for them to be aware of those biases and to rise above it, because that's the only way we can have equity and equality. They all have opportunities. Somebody said that she's a bit on the shy side, so she's not speaking up. She's not really being at her true self and showing the full spectrum of who she is. Now we have to work on breaking that, because she probably has the best opportunities available to her, but she's not maximizing it. So really, we want women, young ladies, to maximize all opportunities that come to them. We want them to learn about networking. We want them to have mentorship, and then through that, they will get sponsorship. We want them to know what at the core is their passion. So passion is, as you stated very clearly, passion is really key, because when you're passionate, no one can stop you. You will rise above any hindrances that are placed in your way. But we have to be honest. There is gender bias. There are stereotypes, there is discrimination that women experience, and it actually starts with young girls. And it is one of the reasons why we have to change the structure. We have to change the mindset of what it means to be a girl, what it means to be educated, what it means to take a seat at the table, what it means to work, what it means to be economically independent. All of those things are viable and opportunities for all women. I know that our time is almost running out, and we've got a male guest here, Alaska from, but we haven't heard from Cynthia. Cynthia, you've been extremely quiet, as well as Adeosun. Speak to us. Let's hear from you. We're celebrating you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
First of all, I want to say thank you for this opportunity, and I'm looking forward to learning a lot. Plus, I'm the only lady in my class. We are like 45, I guess. That's to say we have 45 boys and I'm the only lady. So sometimes I find it hard relating or like getting along with them. I don't know. It has really affected me since from 100 level, actually. The practicals, the field works, they only give me record. I only do recording. But deep within me, I want to learn. I want to do more than just recording.
So can I ask you, Cynthia, how can we support you so that you have the place that you need to do more than recording? Because clearly you're not in surveying, so that you're only doing recording. Do you have female professors, lecturers?
No.
No. So you're in a school where it's all male?
Yes.
Is there another woman in a STEM engineering field that can become your mentor? Are there any other women in the science field?
There is a lady in 500 level. We're quite close.
Okay. All right. But what about female lecturers in any other science field, whether it's engineering, chemistry, science, maths, all of those?
I don't think we have any.
You don't think you have any?
Yes.
Well, yeah. So do you speak up in class? I mean, do you participate? Or do
Yes, I
you
do.
wait for them to give you, you wait for them to give you the assignment, or do you request that you be given the opportunity to lead the group?
No, I've never requested to be the leader.
There you go. You have to request to be a leader. You have to request that. You have to let it be known. I want to be a leader. I'm not here to just record. I want that opportunity. I deserve that opportunity and I can do it.
All right, ma'am. Thank you.
You have to break that bias. Yes? Break the ceiling. Wonderful. Melvina wants to say something.
Yes, ma. Sorry, I just wanted to advise Cynthia. It's interesting that she's the only female in the midst of 45 boys. That should make you a leader. That should put you in front as the only female. Cynthia, I'm talking to you personally now. As the only female, you should be ahead. When they're saying let's go for practical, you are the one that boys carry you, let's go. Yeah, ginger. You're supposed to be gingering to be in front. You're supposed to be ahead. Sorry for my language, but it's sweet and it's interesting that you're the only female, but you're not doing anything. You're relaxing about it, and that's no good. For you to strive in surveying field or any other field, you have to be really. You have to have this passion for surveying. Always want to be in front. That's just it. Be agile about it. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Faith, are you? We can see you, Faith, but I think you're muted. Can you unmute?
I'm here, ma.
Okay. We want to hear from you. The topic is equity and equality. What do we do to make that possible?
Okay. I think the society have to allow women to do what they want to do. To give them the same opportunity, just like the male, so that we can be able to speak up and rise to our full potentials. The society they are always giving us how to live our life, what to do. A woman is not supposed to do this, a woman is not supposed to do that, and it's really affecting women. It didn't really help us because when we are being limited to that extent, we don't contribute much to the society. I think the society has to allow women to speak up, to say their mind.
So, Faith, if I can just jump in right away, this narrative of the society allowing women is something I've heard since I could distinguish my right from my wrong. I mean, my right from my left. But I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And I'm going to tell you why. For the first time since 1999, we saw the First Lady approach the National Assembly to lobby certain gender bills. The wife of the Vice President also was there. In their very presence, both houses voted overwhelmingly against female, bill. So here's the point I'm trying to say. I'm saying there's a new generation of women who don't mind what the society is going to give them. I mean, just imagine 2022, and majority of the men in the National Assembly are not desirous to vote 35% affirmative action. They don't want to give new seats, dedicated to women. They don't want women who are married to husband in other states to claim indigenship of such states. That's how people think in this country and in this generation. However, I think the way we look at it is more important than what it is. So it's like the analogy of whether the cup is half filled or is half empty. For instance, someone in this conversation said, I'm the only lady in my class. That is an advantage. That is a visibility advantage. So what does she do? She prepares herself to be the best, because if she's the best at what she does, she has more advantage than the other 45 men to be visible. It's not just about desiring leadership, it's equipping yourself for leadership. What are you doing more than the person by your side? I still would stay with that point that if we keep looking at the gender challenges, we're not going to make a way forward. We need to start thinking beyond the gender bias. I think the alternative to breaking the bias is focusing on ourselves, developing ourselves to become the best we can be. And you'll be amazed that this society thing wouldn't matter. See, our economy is getting to a point where it's about your capacity, yeah? It wouldn't matter whether you're a woman. If you are more qualified, see, buildings in Lagos now, not even in Lagos alone, in Nigeria, across the country, buildings are collapsing. You heard about the building collapse in Lagos last year. So the attention is shifting to quality. It's not about whether you're a man or a woman. If you are the best in your field, people will listen to you. People will bow to you. But you don't say, because I'm a woman, I'm not putting in my best. That's the biggest disservice you can do to yourself. So the society is not going to give you anything. That's just the fact. That's the truth. I think you are the one that would take what you desire from the society. If you keep waiting for the society, a society where male lawmakers are not voting gender bills, we're going to wait forever. What we now need to do is become the best that we can be. And I think, well, maybe because I'm not in your field, but I happen to work in a field where it really doesn't matter who you are. It matters what you can do. And if you hold the mic and you outperform the other person, I mean, you get the job. That's the possibility I see, by the way. And I think that if every lady can see that possibility, it wouldn't matter what the society thinks. It would, there is a filling station now in Nigeria called Bovas Filling Station. And if you're conversant on Twitter, you will see that Bovas began to trend during the fuel scarcity. Bovas is led by a woman. And they said that's the only filling station that decided to sell fuel at the appropriate price and make it available and not hoard it. You don't think when the opportunity arises for leadership, people will not rally around that woman and say, well, she's done it before, she can do it again. She can lead the public service in this regard. That's what I'm talking about. She's a woman in Nigeria where everything isn't working, but she's leading an organization that is working. How is she doing it? She's doing it not waiting for the society to become better. She's doing it irrespective of the society. And when the opportunity comes, she's going to lead. And people are going to rally around that. That's the point I'm making. So let us leave behind this idea of waiting for society to give us the, okay, how is Dr. Amma speaking in this society of ours? I mean, how is she doing the things she's doing? And she's a woman. So we can't wait until things, lines fall into place or everything works together. We're going to do it irrespective. And I think that you ladies have the capacity. In fact, the fact that you are in school already shows that you are desirous of a better life. I mean, there are many ladies who do not even aspire education at that level. So you are there already. If you're the only lady in your class, come on. There's no bigger advantage than that. If you are good at what you're doing, you're going to be visible, and it's a bigger advantage than every other person. So let us forget the vibes we're getting from the society. The only way it would change is when we develop ourselves to be the best we can be, and then nothing, and I'm telling you, for real, nothing will stop you. Does it make any sense? I
absolutely agree. Yes, it does. And you're absolutely correct, Nifemi.
Yeah, I agree with you, sir.
I agree with you. So ladies, I mean, what we're talking about here is your sphere of influence. You have to build your capacity so you have a sphere of influence. You have to build yourself. You have to recognize you have a place. It's the reason why I make the joke about taking your bench. If you're waiting for the men to give you a seat at the table, it's not going to happen. You have to go and take that seat yourself. You walk into a room with a group of men. If you watch me, I go straight for the seat. No one is taking the seat that I have my eye on, and I sit down and I say what I need to say. Whether they like it or not is not my business. I am myself. I know what I'm here to do, and you put that forth. I have a sphere of influence. I've built a sphere of influence. I've networked, and I know what I'm here to do. You have to know your value. What is your value? What is your potential? And that is what you put forth every single time. Let me give you a brief history. International Women's Day has been around since 1911. Women have been fighting for their rights, for the right to vote, for the right to have a seat at the table, for the right to do what they want to do. Women's Day started, Women's Day, the UN recognized Women's Day started in 1975. 1975. We're still discussing these issues. But if you look around you, there are women who have impact. There are women who are getting things done. They're not waiting for someone to give them an opportunity. They're not waiting for government to do the things that we think government should do. Every single person has the potential. Every single person must put that forth every day. And that's how you bring about the change that you want. Each of us coming together collectively to achieve the change that we desire. You know, when we have that change, then we can start to look at the issues of inequity in pay. It does exist. Many of you will get into jobs where the men that you have similar qualifications with, or you're performing the same job, will earn more. That's another level of inequity that we are dealing with in the world. And it's going to take some time. So the World Forum last year put out a report that it's going to be 108 years before we achieve gender parity. But it's going to take us 275 years before we close the pay gap. We have to do this incrementally. Let's stand up. Let's take advantage of the opportunities that come our way. Let's be intentional in what we do. So I am hoping that Cynthia, moving forward, it's going to let them know I am a leader. I'm going to lead a group. I'm going to take the measurements. You point at the person who is going to do the recording. Take your place. It's not about waiting for that proverbial table. It's about doing it right now at this moment. That's how you bring about change, ladies. It's time to go. Get your passion, build it, build your capacity, have your sphere of influence, and you can make the change that you desire for yourself and for others.
Absolutely, Dr. Amma. I mean, I think I love this. Duna has shown us the quote again, and I'm just going to end with it. Women should take their seat at the table, and if there are no seats, bring your bench. Bring your bench. I mean, I love it so much. Bring your bench to the table. And I'm going to wrap up by just calling your attention to the Russian-Ukraine war, which has now, made global oil prices skyrocket. And it's also beginning to have some adverse effect on aviation fuel in Nigeria. That's why the tickets fee are now, overboard. See, the systems of the world is pushing us to a place of meritocracy. We are getting to a point now where it doesn't matter who you are. Can you offer the solution? I mean, it's getting really bad now that it really wouldn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. The question will be, can you solve this problem? So what we should now do is we must strategically position ourselves as problem solvers, and there will always be a room for us. We must never get to that point where we cease personal development, because we're women. And that's why we have someone like Dr. Amma here. In the coming year, she's going to be here for you. I don't know what the plan is, maybe on a weekly or a monthly basis. You can always ask her all the questions, and I'm sure that you're in safe hands. I want to say a big thank you to Live Abundantly for coming up with this laudable project. I want to say a big thank you to the Adekoya family for financing it. I know, Dr. Amma, it's more money now with 10 recipients, right?
Certainly is, and they're committed to keep it going. So each of these ladies is receiving 100,000 naira towards their tuition. And of course, they're going to have mentoring and coaching with me. And we will be bringing in other speakers to join and provide their insights and their knowledge. But before we go, Nifemi, can we just have a word from Alaska Mfam, who joined us? He's one of the guests. Maybe he has something that he would like to add before we sign off very quickly. Are you with us, Alaska?
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon.
All right, Alaska. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Did you have something you would like to say? Because we're getting ready to sign off.
Yeah. I'm actually here to support a friend. I'm supporting a friend.
What's your friend's name?
Faith, is it?
Hello, Faith. Oh, wonderful.
So I'm actually a graduate of Geoinformatics and Surveying, and actually a corper as well.
Wonderful.
So
wonderful.
I've been following up the stuff from the beginning till now, and even everything from the onset. It's been encouraging, and I love it. For the ladies, I think the issue ladies have is just the waiting aspect instead of taking aspect. So instead of you taking the seat, you wait for them to decide for you. We were 64 in my level, 64, and 5 girls, and at point almost 20-something drop out, and out of that 20-something, no girl was among. So no girl was among. So it was encouraging. And at the end, I discovered that all the girls graduated 2.1, that is second class upper. That was encouraging. So they didn't wait for us to decide for them. We go to field work. The way they chance us in field, we must do this, we must do that. So they don't even give us chance to you want to operate the instrument by yourself. They do it themselves. And I think the other thing I see in surveying aspect is that some ladies shy out from manning instruments, so they divert to GIS aspect of it. But it's also encouraging at the same time. But what I see is that women should take the stand. They don't wait. I think there was a time, years ago, that the federal government had to decide for them, they have to take 35%. And they were encouraged, they were just happy, no, why not go for 50-50 or more than that? So we were just happy taking 35% instead of you aiming for 50-50. So it wasn't forthcoming. And if you see now on political aspects, out of 100%, you see 10% of women out there. And even that 10%, they are being struggled with something else. Powers out there are struggling with them to bring them down and other things. So what I want from the ladies out there, and they want some scholarship here, force yourself ahead. Don't wait for us men to decide for you. Don't wait for us men to always want to decide for you. Just force yourself ahead. If you want to know how to man instruments, force yourself to do it. You can do it. There's one saying in surveys that once you're in survey, you're no more a woman, you're a man. So do something and show the world that, okay, I'm doing something. I have female lecturers and they are encouraging. You see them walk, you see them talk, they're good. So my encouraging to ladies is be your best. Just don't give up. Don't allow the men to overcome you. I know men can want to overcome you, but forge ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Alaska.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alaska. But I will say this, please, regardless of what field you are, you're a woman and you're not trying to be a man. You're just a woman. You are a woman doing what you wish to do, not a woman becoming a man because you're in surveying. We are women. We want to be women and recognize as women. Women rock. And we're the bedrock of this world, of this society. Women, women, women. And Nifemi has 2 daughters and they are dynamic young women. And I can only imagine what they will be in another 15 to 20 years. Thank you, Nifemi, for what you're doing with your girls.
Thank you, Dr. Ama. A big thank you, Alaska, for your contribution. Adeola, Anu, Ayomide, Cynthia, Faith, Melvina, Stephanie, and a host of others that have joined us online today. We really appreciate you. We're back next week with another exciting episode. I am Nifemi Okute. Congratulations to all the equity and equality recipients. We look forward to a great year together. Bye for now.
Thank you, Nifemi. Ladies, if you're here, please stay on and we're going to stop the recording.